Wait, are they saying the roller coaster here fell off the freaking track? People could die. Is it supposed to fall that way? 5T, magnetic field. What does that even mean? What's the freaking equation for pressure again? Hey y'all, my name is Oriafa. I'm a second-year medical student, and today I'm going to be taking the MCAT as a medical student. Sorry if I sound a bit congested. It's because I am. I'm pretty sick, but I'm trying to act like I'm not. But I'm kind of curious as to what was important for medical school that we learned during undergrad, and one of my friends suggested this video to me back in April on the last day of M1, and I think now that I'm a semester into M2, it'll be a good idea to see what I know and what I forgot. But I'm just going to get into it, honestly. But first and foremost, as you may or may not know, the MCAT is a super long exam. Like, that test is 8 hours long, and I know it can be pretty hard to keep your energy up throughout the exam. I remember I would always start crashing during the third section, which was biochem. It was just so hard to stay alert and focused. So because of that, I'm really glad to have found out about Magic Mind, which is a company that makes productivity shots, and I'm going to tell y'all a bit more about them.
Magic Mind can be taken along with or as an alternative to your morning caffeine. Although coffee and energy drinks help many students stay alert and get through some tough study sessions, most caffeine products increase your body's level of cortisol, which is your stress hormone. Magic Mind, on the other hand, was made by a team of physicians and contains several adaptogens and nootropics that have been scientifically shown to help decrease stress, enhance clarity and focus, boost energy, improve mood, and help with procrastination. Personally, I've been taking Magic Mind for about 3 days now, and I usually just drink it alone as a shot after chilling it in the fridge, but you can drink it alongside your typical morning coffee, and they do also have some recipes that you can make with it. The productivity shot really helped me personally stay concentrated while I was studying for my Intro to Clinical Medicine final, which is basically a consummation of everything we've learned over the course of 5 months, and I literally had less than 2 days to study for it. And as you can imagine, that was like a mountain of work for me. And even though I saw that mountain, when I took Magic Mind, I was able to feel a sense of peace and calm as opposed to anxiety. And I was able to power through the material and thankfully ended up getting an A on that final. So I do recommend it personally. If you want to try out Magic Mind, click the link in the description box and use my code ORIAFET20. And if it doesn't work for you, there is a 100% money back guarantee, so feel free to give it a shot.
So I'm just going to take some of it before starting this practice test. Gonna give it a good shake. Ooh, okay, we're ready. So the practice test I'm taking is by Magoosh. It's just 24 questions because I do not have time for a full length. Sorry. Okay, number 1. During an experiment, a large polarized compound is seen entering a cell and moving down its concentration gradient. Without energy input, what mechanism of transport is most likely occurring? Let's go simple diffusion, going down its concentration gradient. I'm pretty sure osmosis is just for water. It's for sure not active transport because that needs energy. Simple diffusion. Let's go with that. I hope it's right. Which of the following DNA sequences would have the highest melting temperature? Okay, if I remember correctly, I think the G's and the C's, the guanines and the cytosines, I think they are bigger, so it's gonna be harder for them to melt. So whichever one of these has the most G's and C's is the one I'm gonna go with. And that looks like, let me count. I'm gonna go with C. Next, which type of bond links nucleotides to form a single-stranded chain? It's either hydrogen bonds or phosphodiester bonds. Oh my gosh, I feel so dumb right now. I think phosphodiester bonds may be the ones that are kind of like going along the sides of it, but I think the ones linking them together directly are hydrogen bonds. I'm gonna go with hydrogen bonds. Child. Biochemistry. During pregnancy, hemoglobin F. Oh, finally something I might know something about. During pregnancy, hemoglobin F has a lower P50 value and a higher affinity for oxygen than hemoglobin A. How will the oxygen dissociation curve for HbF compare to the curve for HbA? Okay, this is something that we actually did learn in med school. Higher affinity, that means it's gonna hold on to oxygen tighter. This is how I think, y'all. So it's not going to dissociate as quickly, right? I think when it shifts to the right, then there's gonna be more oxygen unloading. So I think shifting to the left means it's gonna hold on tighter. I'm gonna eliminate C and D, so it's gonna shift to the left. Now I have to remember what KM is. KM is for sure on the x-axis, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna go with the KM values lower, so I'm gonna just go with B. Anyway, moving on. During the citric acid cycle, the TCA cycle is something that we do learn in M1 as well. And it is something else I'll need to review again for step, but I feel like the Krebs cycle is just something that you learn and forget, and learn and forget. But let me read the question first. During the citric acid cycle, isocitrate dehydrogenase catalyzes the conversion of isocitrate to alpha ketoglutarate. Which class of enzymes is IDH? To do this, it would be helpful to know the structures of them. Problem is, I don't. But if it's an isomerase, that means it'll kind of use the same molecules, but it'll kind of shift the structure of it. If it's a kinase, it'll just kind of pop a phosphorus molecule onto it. If it's an oxidoreductase, it means like redox reactions, you know, from organic chemistry. But for some reason, this is the answer that's calling my name. And a lyase, does it kind of like use water to like break something? Is that what a lyase is? I definitely need to take a look at biochemistry again. A novel drug inhibits the conversion of ATP to CAMP by adenylate cyclase, disrupting the second messenger system within a cell. This drug most likely causes... So if you can't convert ATP to CAMP, that means you won't get CAMP. So the real question here is, what happens when you don't get CAMP? I'm gonna go with inhibition of mitochondrial function. I don't know. I don't have the mental energy to be thinking about this right now. Organic chemistry, the one we've all been waiting for. The substrate shown below undergoes 2 subsequent hydrolysis reactions. What is the product? Okay, hydrolysis. Using water to break something. Isn't that what I just said lyase does? Wait a minute, never mind. Because all these options, it's phosphates that are somehow coming off. That could be it. Maybe it's using it to break the phosphate. I'm thinking it's going to be one of the monophosphate options, so A or D, because there are 3 phosphates here, so if you cut off 2 of them. And because this has 2 rings, I'm thinking it'll be a purine, but I just realized that doesn't help me, because both adenine and guanine are purines. So, what I really need to know is what's the difference in the structure between adenine and guanine. That one I do not know. I'm seeing some nitrogens over here. I don't know. I feel like guanine is bigger than this. I don't know how. D is calling my name. I'm gonna go with AMP. What is the name of the molecule shown below? I'm thinking it's either A or C, because furanose, I don't know. Comment below if you know the answer to this one, because I don't. I literally don't remember what in organic chemistry makes something alpha versus beta. I don't remember. Shoot! I promise y'all, I'm doing well in medical school. Like, I'm just gonna go A and move on. This is so sad. Number 9. Which of the following compounds can undergo a keto tautomerization? Keto. I know what a keto is. Ketos have a CC and then O double bond. Boom. And enols, I feel like enols have a double bond somewhere in there, and then they have some hydroxyl group somewhere on there. Tautomerization. I don't remember what it means. I think there's some sort of shape-shifting going on. You know what? Let's just go with all of the above. That's calling my name. We're not halfway done yet, but we're at number 10. All of the following are underlying assumptions / conclusions of the ideal gas law, except, okay, I might remember this. C and D are giving familiar. PV equals nRT. N and R, are those constant? I don't know. T is temperature. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm gonna go with A. I don't think A is right. Okay, finally some chemistry. Let's go. Which of the following molecules has bonds of highest order? Highest order. I don't remember what order is. This would have a triple bond, right? Carbon monoxide, and then this would have like a double bond and a double bond. I don't remember what order means though. I don't remember how F2 would be structured. I'm gonna go with carbon monoxide. I don't know for real. Combustion reactions are used by the body to burn and yield energy. When is a combustion reaction of sucrose spontaneous? I'm gonna go with D. Do I have a reasoning? Not really. This is so embarrassing. Physics! Let me bring out my whiteboard. A roller coaster cart situated at rest 50 meters above the ground falls along the track into a circular loop of radius 10 meters on the ground. What is the velocity of the cart at the top of the loop, assuming no friction is involved? So velocity is measured in meters per second, right? And I'm seeing some things in meters in the question. Let's draw this out. Roller coaster, 50 meters above the ground, right? What do you mean circular loop? I'm confused. Top of the loop. loop. Hang on, I'm confused. What loop are they talking about here? I thought I was meant to just be doing some simple Pythagorean theorem, but I guess not. Wait, are they saying the roller coaster here fell off the freaking track? People could die. Is it supposed to fall that way? Hang on, I'm literally struggling to even picture this freaking scenario. Oh my gosh, y'all! Roller coasters can make loop-de-loops. It's going to make a loop-de-loop, and the radius is 10 meters. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am so tired. Like, y'all, it's not even funny. Velocity at the top of the loop. Okay, now I can at least figure out what they're trying to ask me. So it's going chugga, 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 choo, choo. Now that we've gotten this scenario drawn out, let me think of all the velocity equations I know. V equals delta x over t, change in distance over time. That doesn't help me. First, let's calculate the circumference of this loop-de-loop. I think that's 2 pi r. If the radius here is 10 meters, that's gonna equal 20 pi. So let's just approximate this as 20 times 3. Approximately 60 meters is the circumference. It's gonna be a bit over that. So to travel half the loop-de-loop to get to the top, it would have traveled about 30 over time. How will I know time? This is making me sad, y'all. I don't know how to solve this. This is so embarrassing. Really brought out my whiteboard for nothing. I'm gonna just go with 28 meters per second. I'm gonna put on these blue light glasses because they make me feel smarter. How do I look, y'all? Anyway.
A newly developed vaccine requires the administration of 3 milliliters of vaccine. How much pressure must be applied to administer the vaccine with a 10 millimeter diameter syringe if a nurse uses the force of 30 newtons to deliver the vaccine?
And then we need to give 3 milliliters of vaccine. That's the volume. So you have a force, a diameter, and a volume. 3 milliliters is going to be the volume when I draw it out like this. So this will be 3 milliliters. So the equation for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared, and then it will be multiplied by the height. So to know the height, okay, that'll be pi times 5 squared, which is 25, times h. Let's just estimate this to 75 h. So now that we have that, let's try and throw some other numbers around for no reason. Force. A force equation I remember. F equals mass times acceleration. How does that help me here? I do not know. So I'm just going to erase it. I'm trying to get pressure. P, question P. What's the freaking equation for pressure again? What is the equation for pressure? The pressure is getting wetter. Nah, seriously though, what's this equation? Is there an equation for pressure that has anything to do with force? Should I just Google it? I feel like that's cheating though. You know what? I'm gonna take my L. I tried. Let's go with 1 atmosphere. Next. An electron is perpendicularly shot into a 5t magnetic field at a velocity of 10 meters per second. What is the radius of the circle created by its motion in the field? This test's a little hard, not gonna lie. 5t magnetic field. What does that even mean? So these units are in picometers, and I don't remember what F stands for. Phycometers. I think this one here is an example of knowing when to choose your battles. I promise y'all do not need to know this in medical school. 11 phycometers. Whatever. Okay, finally some stuff I might actually know, because I was pretty darn good at psychology back in my day. A student consistently receives poor grades on a math exam. If the student takes the behaviorist perspective, they will attribute their poor performance to positive feedback. Doesn't have to do with like conditioning. Like there's classical conditioning, then there's one that starts with an O, conditioning. What's the one that starts with an O? Operative? I don't know. I think that one's trying to influence behavior. I'm gonna go with D. A child is presented with a box of multicolored blocks. They are able to sort the blocks by color and by size. Which of the following tasks would the same child be least likely to perform? Intricately describing the visual perspective of another person in the room. Describing the merits of behavior they believe to be wrong. Finding a toy that was hidden behind a table. Gluing facial features onto a stick puppet. Okay, I know C has to do with object permanence. That's a term I remember. But if they can sort them by color and by size, maybe they've achieved object permanence, but that doesn't necessarily have to do with it. Gluing facial features onto a stick puppet. You might be able to do that. Describing the merits of behavior they believe to be wrong. You know what? I think this could be a little complicated for a little kid. I don't know actually. We move. A woman tells a friend that her mother taught her how to ride horses at age 8. Later that day, the woman flips through an old photo album and realizes that it was actually her father, not her mother, who told her how to ride. This is an example of not amnesia. Retroactive interference, I don't think it's that either. Probably one of these two. An error in internal source monitoring, an error in external source monitoring. What is source monitoring? Monitoring sources. Interference is like when something stops you from remembering something. I think this video is a perfect example of interference because now that I've learned all this medical school stuff, all this undergrad stuff I'm trying to take right now, it's not ringing a bell, you know? But retroactive interference would be the opposite of that, where the stuff that I learned before is stopping me from fully understanding and learning the new thing. Actually, I don't think that's what's going on here. I think it might be the source monitoring. I'm gonna go with an error in internal source monitoring. I don't know though. Which of the following is not part of the sick role? I think this is like sick role, like roles in society. I'm gonna go with sick person is deemed to be a risk to society because I guess that's not something they're actively doing. You know, the other ones are kind of things that they're doing. I don't know. I'm just going off straight vibes. No fact, no opinion, just vibes. Okay, we're almost there, y'all. Just 5 questions left. This is beating me the heck up. Anyway, the term used to describe the number of children a woman is most likely to have in the course of her lifetime is, I'm gonna go with child-to-woman ratio. It's the only one that's really making sense to me. Sociology. Complete the sentence below with the statement that best describes social capital. I think I kind of know what this is. A new graduate is chosen for a job because the company has an international customer base and the graduate can speak 4 languages. The company's former CEO is a friend who recommends the graduate for the position. Their parents donate generously to the company's philanthropic department. They impress the hiring committee with eloquent speech and advanced knowledge of fine art. I don't think it's A. I don't think it's C. I think it's either B or D. I'm gonna go with B. I don't know. I'm not sure. When I hear the word capital, I think like almost like something you have under your belt that kind of puts you at an advantage for something. Whatever. I'm gonna go with B. Some cars passages have more questions to answer than others. What is the greatest number of questions you will see attached to a single passage? This has nothing to do with the MCAT. This is just us having to know how many questions you can get with a CARS passage. I think the most amount of questions you can get with a passage is 7 or 8. I'm gonna go with 8. Which of the following would not appear as a main topic for a CARS passage? How am I meant to know? This question is not relevant. I'm gonna go with the zombie in film. Last question. Which of the following critical analysis and reasoning skills question types most frequently appears on the MCAT? I think reasoning within the text is the most common question. Let's view results, y'all. I'm clicking it. If I get anything more than a 50%, I'll be happy, honestly. LOL. For the biology section, I answered 1 question correctly. For biochem, I answered 2 questions correctly. Orgo, 2. Chemistry, 2. Physics, 0. Psychology, 2. Sociology, 2. Cars, 0. So out of 24, I got 11 out of 24 questions right, which is almost half. But I'm not gonna count those 3 cars questions because they were pretty useless. Let's click to view my answers. Oh my gosh, facilitated diffusion? Okay, maybe I didn't read it right. I got this one right. It was phosphodiester bonds, y'all. Okay, I got this one right. You see, I was just vibing with this one, but I knew what I was talking about. I told y'all this one too. Oxidoreductase. I knew what I was saying, but it was just vibing. Like, I feel like the ones where I just go with my gut, I'm doing better than the ones I'm like, this is the answer. Disruption of intracellular protein activation. Yes, I should have known that. AMP. Look at me. I knew it was one of the monophosphates. I just didn't know which one this was. Not me guessing this one correctly, y'all. I had 0 clue. All of the above is incorrect. The answer was 2 and 4. So let's see. See, I knew what I was talking about with this one. I knew which one of these wasn't ringing a bell. Okay, carbon monoxide has the highest order. Okay, never mind. This one is always. So this reaction is always spontaneous. I remember what spontaneous means, but I don't remember what makes something spontaneous or not. This one was 24.25 meters per second. Okay, great to know. This one was 4 atmospheres. Cool. This one was 11.4 picometers. I was close though, just whole units off. A lack of positive feedback from math teachers. This one is the one talking about behaviorist. So I think I was thinking, is it called operative conditioning? I think I was thinking along the right track. This one's source monitoring. It's external source monitoring. Let's see. Okay, I got the sick roll question right. This one is total fertility rates. Okay, that sounds more scientific. The company's former CEO is a friend who recommends the graduate for the position. Okay, yeah, this is social capital. So this one's 7, okay? Doesn't matter. Desert ecosystems of the Arctic. Doesn't matter. Reasoning beyond the text is the most frequently. I thought those were less common. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So we got an 11 out of 24, y'all. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If I learned one thing, it's just that everything in this life is a stepping stone. There was a time I probably would have gotten most of these questions correct. I don't want to say it's not important to learn, because it's important for you to learn these things for you to get to the next step in life. So if you're an undergrad, keep working hard. It'll all eventually be worth it someday. I don't remember as much as I thought I did, but it's okay, because I don't need to. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And remember to check out Magic Mind, use code ORIAFET20. I will catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.